Welcome to What the Mom podcast. You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline.
Motherhood can be isolating and hard.
We are two doulas who want to provide a safe place to talk about all things mom,
from pregnancy
to birth
to postpartum
to parenting.
Join us as we have real conversations about real life.
Hi everyone, you're listening to Doulas
Petra
and Jacqueline.
Welcome to What the Mom podcast. Thank you for listening.
Yay. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
Today we are going to be talking about different positions for labor and delivery. We've kind of briefly talked a little bit about some of this in other episodes, but this one will be focused mainly on that.
Yes, because it is an important component to having a smooth labor.
Yes, it definitely is.
Absolutely. Most people, a lot of people that I know, they birth in the hospital and they birth in stirrups. And it just seems like gravity is not really, there. So it can take longer to birth the baby that way. So we're going to share about other ones. That's definitely a position, but it doesn't always work as well. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it can be something that can stall labor too. So
yeah, that's the position in like all of the movies that have labor in it. They're always on their back and then they're screaming. Well, usually you do scream when you're in that position because it is painful.
Absolutely. I've never been in that position, so I don't know how to compare it, but I have friends who say that it was just not a fun thing. And they it was super uncomfortable and they were pushing for hours. And
That's true.
I personally only used all fours and squatting. So
yeah, I would say in early labor, it's a good position. Save your energy.
Yeah.
Because the contractions are not as intense yet, but maybe not later on as you progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you're, my midwife would say until my contractions were like consistent and they weren't stopping if I was sitting down, they were like, just keep walking around, keep standing up, going to do stairs, doing squats on the stairs. That's what I did a lot of the time, and it just helped progress my labor. So the first one we're going to talk about is all fours. Did you use it, Petra?
I definitely did with all of them too.
Yeah, me too. I feel like even like you're not even subconsciously like even thinking about it. It was so funny because in my last labor, I didn't want to be in the hospital and I didn't even want to like change into a gown or anything. I was so stubborn. And I still have my pants on and I'm not kidding. I'm like hitting transition and I'm on the bed and I like rip my pants down and baby's head is like coming out.
Oh,
and
man.
I go right on all fours and it just seemed so comfortable and so natural.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's true. What I like about all fours is that if you feel like you need the momentum and whatever, you can be like up like a dog kind of, right? Where you're straight like a table, I guess. Yeah. But if you're resting between contractions, you can lean your head down and you can rest. And that's what I did. So I'd be up on all fours and then between the contraction, I'd rest my head down because, like it's exhausting.
So exhausting. This is a super supportive position for all childbirth. And it still helps keep a wide pelvis opening too, which is amazing. And when it's time to push, usually your care team can help you get on your hands and knees usually. It just means you're on all fours. You're on your hands and knees and you want your legs spread wide so that it gives the baby some, like momentum to come down.
It opens up the pelvis, gives the baby more room, and gravity helps pull baby down.
Yeah, it's amazing. And even if you look I think my instructor actually showed us this with like a fake thing, and even like it even shows like when you have your legs like that, how it opens up the pelvis, like on this, this
Yeah.
dummy thing that she had. And it was so cool because you can see how it does open you up and it doesn't close you up, and it can be easier.
Yeah.
You want the baby to come out as soon as possible.
It's true. You don't want to hinder that, make it longer.
Oh, no, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that my pushing was like 20 minutes tops, I'm pretty sure. Like maybe half an hour tops. Like any more than that, I can't imagine. I have friends that push for like 3 hours. And sometimes it happens and they end up in C-section, and it really sucks. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Well, I was 1.5 or 2 hours with my first. I can't remember.
Wow.
Long time
Like
ago.
something around
It was
that, yeah.
long, yeah. And then but I had the epidural too, right? My
Yeah.
other ones, they were all fast, like 60 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes. Yeah.
I know your last was so fast. It was like boom.
Yeah.
There she was.
You also, it can also go faster if you wait for they call it fair, right? I'm trying to think. Fetal ejection reflex.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where you're actually just pushing the baby out. Your body's doing it for you.
Yeah.
You're not even like pushing. Yeah.
Yeah. Your body does all of the pushing. It's like your contractions change. I had that with my third and fourth.
Yeah. You
Which is
had it until they were like, okay, you need to push the baby out because, with Katerina, right? When they kind of were like, okay, let's get this going faster.
With Katerina was my third. Her heart rate all of a sudden dropped significantly. And in the end, I think it was because she had pooped.
Yeah.
But they were worried that her heart rate dropped so suddenly. So then she asked me to push with it. But my body had been doing the work on its own, that she just came flying out so fast that we couldn't catch her.
And she literally fell on the bed.
Yeah. It was crazy. And then with my fourth, I did the same thing again. I mean, I was in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel my contractions start to change. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, someone go get Tom because this baby's coming soon.
I swear it was like minutes after you said that, maybe like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then
you
my
were
body
holding your
started
baby.
pushing her out. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was the coolest thing ever.
And that can happen in any position that you're in, though.
Yeah.
But it does make it easier if you let gravity do its work and opening up the pelvis to help facilitate.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the next one is squatting.
Mm-hmm.
I gave birth to my daughter, my second one, in that position because my daughter had a poop and my midwife was worried. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm super grateful she told me to do that. And also, it did really feel natural, just like all fours. Yeah, it helps open the pelvis again. It gives baby more room to rotate too, moving through the birth canal. It also might allow you to bear down more, definitely. It was so crazy because I remember there was a little bit of cervix left. And she was like, oh, I can do this thing where I can just stick my hand up there and like move it. And I was like, what? Like, what is this? No, I don't want to do this. And she's like, Jacqueline, like, if you do it, like, the baby will come sooner. I'm like, oh, fine. And she did. And I'm not kidding. It was like immediately I felt the baby's head drop and I started pushing. Like, and I wasn't even doing it on my own. It was just like happening.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird when you're in that position, how like intense it is.
Yeah.
And then shortly after I got in the water and I started pushing her out, but crazy.
That is really crazy. The nice thing about squatting is there's different ways you can squat too, right?
Yeah, there is.
You can squat by, you can have your partner or a doula or somebody sitting on a chair and you're between their legs, and then you put your arms on their legs and you you squat down there. and then you can push down on their legs when you squat. You could squat and lean, like holding with your head leaning on a bed or a chair or an exercise ball. You can squat holding on to like a
rebozo or whatever,
or
a rope,
or something that's like hanging over a door even, right?
Yeah.
You can squat just holding onto chairs while you're standing up. I've seen that happen.
I squatted near my oven.
Yeah.
And like hanging onto my island. And it just helped relieve the back pressure. Like it really did. So.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's a really good position for sure.
It is.
You didn't birth any of your babies squatting, hey?
No, I did all fours for every
all
single
fours. I feel like that's like the most popular one, I would say.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that is because I could rest in between contractions that way. Because then I just put my head down, I rest. I feel another contraction coming, and then I'm like, okay, got to take a deep breath, get ready for this, then I get back up.
Yeah, especially in the pool. Like I went like this, and I just like held onto the pool and like rested my head. And that definitely helped for sure. And also there's gonna be like a squatting bar usually at a hospital, or I think even birth centers have them. You can always just ask. Those are really awesome to have too. So
it's true. A similar position to squatting for the pelvis is actually sitting with your legs open. Yeah. So they actually have special stools that they're called birthing stools that you could buy.
For real? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ina May Gaskin, she talks about it in her book. And I've seen videos on YouTube about it. I haven't seen them in person though. But they have a hole in it so that like the baby can actually still be born if you didn't want to get up, like if you're squatting. So they're like squatting.
La-di-da. That's pretty cool.
It's like for people who want to be fancy, right?
Yes, very, very, very fancy.
And the same position is sitting on the toilet.
Let's ask Petra how she enjoyed that last time.
Yeah, it was terrible. Remember, I was like, okay, I gotta go pee. It's like, I know in my head it's good to empty your bladder when you're in labor. So I'm gonna do that. So I said, I'm gonna change positions to see if I can get things going faster. So I say, okay, I'm gonna go pee. So I ask for help out of the pool to the toilet. Jacqueline helps me to the toilet. And I sit down, and the moment I sit down, I had another contraction hit, like sooner than they've been, because I was like, they were spaced out a little at this point. But that change in position caused another contraction. So this contraction started, and I wasn't ready for another one yet. And I was like, no, I'm not ready for the toilet yet. No.
He's like holding on to my hand. No, like you can break my hand. It's okay. Like,
it was terrible.
It was terrible. Like, no. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh.
It intensifies it so much.
It's because you're opening your pelvis like so wide.
Yeah. If you need to progress things faster, it is a good position to be in, though. It is a good place
100%.
But just know that it will get intense faster. So you just have to mentally prepare yourself, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise.
The thing is, we are so strong as women, and we can do anything. And like, and the most important thing is like, even though it's intense, it's just to like breathe into those contractions. Let your baby come down. And it is a really painful position, but it is probably one of the most effective. So
it's true. With my third in the hospital, I used the toilet, and that's what got me to the transition, because I was doing lots of other stuff, and then and then I had to poo. Like I literally pooed. A lot of women, they feel like they have to poo when it's baby, but I'm like, no, like I think I actually have to poo. So I went to the toilet, I pooped, and then I started getting these like back-to-back like intense contractions.
Really?
And I ended up just holding my husband's hand and squeezing it so hard. And he's like, do you want to go back to the bed or do you want to go to the ball? And I'm like, no, I can't move. I can't get up from here. So then I just let them come and I just tried to, make it through them and breathe through them. And then I felt my contractions changing. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to go back to the bed. Baby's coming. And he's like, what? Really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I don't know how long I was on there, but it was intense. And I think that's why with my fourth, when I had that contraction on the toilet, it freaked me out because I was having flashbacks to the crazy intense contractions that I was having with my third.
Seriously,
but it works.
It seriously works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's one of the best positions. Do you want to talk about birthing on sitting on a birthing ball, what that does?
Yes, that's a similar kind of position that opens up your pelvis as well.
Yeah, it does.
Because your legs are kind of open. You can bounce as well if you need to try to bring baby's head down. You can do circles. The birth ball is also nice because you can be on the birth ball and then you can lean on someone holding around their neck.
Yeah.
You can lean on a bed, on a chair. With my third in the hospital, I remember sitting on a birth ball, leaning over the bed for a while. It felt really nice.
Yeah. When you're having contractions, it can just be, I don't know, it's a good way to also progress your labor too, like bouncing on the ball.
Yeah. And the movement can be soothing as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely used it a lot in my labors too.
Yeah. I did it in early labor, but not as much
too.
Later on, only the one birth.
I did early on.
Yeah.
I didn't want no one to touch me when I was later.
Yeah.
I didn't want to touch nothing. Yeah. Especially the last one.
Yeah.
That one was intense.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to our birth stories, go listen to that episode.
Yes. It's a good one for sure. We
Number
share
one.
all the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Another good position for sitting and opening up the pelvis is just being on a chair. Sometimes if you sit backwards on the chair, then you can lean on the back of it.
Yeah.
Some people like that as well. I never personally tried it, but I know some people like it.
Yeah. I've had a few friends. I don't think I did a lot. I also, when I was in labor, just held on to Keith, on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And kind of just squatted and then kind of just swayed my hips.
Yeah.
Because it just, the rocking motion kind of
it's soothing. It helps.
It's soothing and it takes the edge off.
Yeah.
Of the pain. So I would say that I did that too.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah. There's lots of things you can do. And then you can kneel.
Yeah.
As well. That can be kneeling on, in your birth pool, hanging over the edge. Or that can be kneeling and holding onto the birthing ball too.
Yeah.
Or using pillows or chair. Yeah. Yeah, it all can be really good for support for sure.
And that's another good position to be in if you want to do the swing, because it's easy to sway your hips like that too.
It is really easy to sway. Yeah.
It's kind of like a modified all fours, right? Your arms are up higher.
Yeah, totally.
I think I did quite a bit of that as well.
Yeah.
But then I always ended up pushing on all fours.
It's just I know. It just seems more natural. I don't know what it is, but that's just your instinct is to just be on all fours. I don't know.
Yeah, it was for me too.
Most comfortable position. I can't imagine birthing in stirrups. I know lots of people that did and they did not love it and they never did it again. So, or I've had friends who did it and they said it was fine and the baby came great.
But unmedicated?
I don't. Maybe not unmedicated. Yeah, they probably had epidurals.
Birth, you don't notice it, right? Because that pain is gone.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Feeling, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had epidurals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, however you feel like you need to birth,
which is fine too. But
do whatever you gotta do. But yeah, there is some positions that can help move things along. So
Yeah, it's true.
we like sharing that because we know that it's beneficial. And
Mm-hmm.
then you also have your alternative options,
Mm-hmm.
like in the water,
Which is amazing.
which is amazing. You only had your last in the water, right?
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
had
I
two in the
labored.
water.
My second, I labored in the water, but then I
That's
got.
right. You just didn't birth. You birthed in land on land, right?
Yeah.
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 I wanted 3 home births. The third one didn't end that way, but I did labor in the water a lot of the time because it was so intense. I was at 6 centimeters from like midnight to like 7 a.m. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Um, and so it did really help. Absolutely. The water really does help with the pain. Using a rebozo is another thing where you can kind of hammock the belly and do the swaying kind of thing to take pressure off the back. And
Yeah. And those who don't know, a rebozo is a special blanket. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's
it looks
traditionally,
like a scarf, hey?
it
Is that
does. It
what
looks
I'm
like a large scarf.
Yeah.
It's traditionally used in, I don't know what culture uses it. I can't remember. I don't want to say it and be wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a couple cultures that use it.
Yeah.
Um, and they use it in pregnancy to help relieve like pressure from the baby like being so heavy or like being
Mm-hmm.
down low and stuff, and they
Mm-hmm.
can use it in labor to help
Mm-hmm.
again like bring some of that weight off.
Yeah, that makes sense because I wore like a pregnancy belt, like it just like lifted my belly. So then it's not like just hanging and like that dead weight and hurts, right? Your back.
Yeah, it's true.
So that makes sense.
So the rebozo is really nice though. My doula with my second birth, she was trained in using a rebozo,
Yeah.
and she gave me one, and it was really nice. It in early labor, she helped. She like tied it around my big belly, and then she pulled it from the back, and it was so nice during a contraction because it pulled the weight from that baby up, which actually was like
Yeah.
a nice big relief.
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't end up
awesome.
using it in later labor, but she showed me some of the things that we could do. But I
Yeah.
was in water pretty much the whole time, so I didn't need to.
Yeah. Oh, the water really does help for sure.
But I,
Just make sure you're not doing really hot water.
yeah, exactly. I have heard many good things about the rebozo, though. There's also massage during
Yeah.
labor. You can use a TENS machine.
Yeah.
You can get counter pressure on your hips or your lower back.
Oh, I loved that. Keith did that forever. His hands, I can't imagine how, because I'd be like, push so hard, like stick your nails into my back because it
Yeah,
hurts so bad.
yeah. I liked it for 2 out of 4 of my labors. The other 2 I didn't.
Yeah.
Like my
No, I
last one, I
loved it.
didn't want it. I didn't care for it.
Really? No, you were
Yeah.
so calm in your last one. My goodness. I don't even know how. It was crazy.
Let's hope I can do this again with the 5th one.
Let's hope that it'll be the same.
I have until July to prepare myself.
It will be
Oh man.
great. And also lying down, especially in early labor too. Petra did that, and it just helps you rest,
Yeah.
like if you can.
Um, I did a lot of lying down with my 4th one because I was able to use hypnobirthing.
Yeah.
And that really helped because I'm like exhausted because
Hmm.
it's hard work for your body. And
It's
then
very hard work.
I'd be able to lay down. And normally if you lay down, it's not just uncomfortable, it's painful. Like it starts to hurt. But hypnobirthing helps you to um, like relax all of your body, every single muscle in your body. And it uses tracks usually that you're listening to somebody talking, reminding you to do things, or it uses, um, oh, I can't remember what they call it, like certain points that are like reminders to you. So if you had your partner practice with you in pregnancy,
Hmm.
doing the same thing, all they'd have to do is maybe touch your shoulder. And then it would be a reminder to do something like they touch your shoulder. Oh, relax my pelvis.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's something that you were practicing, and it's like muscle memory kind of.
Yeah.
And then you relax everything. And once you're relaxed, you can just breathe with the contractions.
Yeah.
Instead of it like taking over you, right?
Yeah. You handled it very well.
Yeah, it's true. My computer is about to die, so I'm going to have to quickly grab my charger.
No, that's fine. I think we're almost done anyways, girl.
Okay, hang on.
Hi to the camera. You're famous now.
Oh, for those only listening, we have a special guest, Pebbles the dog. Hello.
Hi, Auntie Petra. Oh, dear.
So, I don't know. Is there any other positions that you can think of?
Not really. I think we covered most of them, or all of them. Yeah. We hope you guys learned something. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we would be happy to answer them for you.
Definitely.
And
as well as if you are interested in an infographic that shows you some of the positions, either leave a comment or send us an email at what.the.mom.doulas@gmail.com, and we can make sure to get you a copy of that as well.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So
until next time,
what the mom